New name, staff member. All right, good evening, folks, and welcome to tonight's council meeting. It's the 49th meeting of the 13th elected town council of Happy Valley, Goose Bay. And we have joining us on the phone tonight Councillor Rumbold and Councillor Pomeroy, who are out of town. So before us we have the adoption of the agenda. Does anybody, before I go, want to add anything to the agenda, change, fix, anything? Are we all good? All right, I'll entertain a motion to accept the agenda as presented. Moved by the Deputy Mayor Wallace, seconded by Councillor Brumfield. All those in favour indicate with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Contrary minded?
Aye.
Passed.
Aye.
Okay, yes, and I apologize. I will slow down for the votes. Okay, we do have an order of business, so
Yes.
I'll pass the floor to Councillor Brumfield.
Okay, thank you, Your Worship. Our CEO is out of town today, so we have to appoint a temporary town clerk. And I'd like to move to appoint Kathy as our town clerk.
All right, so it's moved by Councillor Brumfield that we appoint Kathy as our town clerk for this evening's meeting. Seconded by?
I'll second that.
Okay, seconded by Councillor Compton Hobbs. Discussion. All those in favour, please indicate with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Passed. All right, so now that we're in legal status, I guess, delegations. So we do have one delegation here this evening, and that's it, eh? Just one? Just one? Okay. I welcome you to the microphone. Can we get the microphone down to him? And I'll welcome you, Rick, to council chambers. We are joined by, just for the two councillors on the phone, we're joined by Mr. Da, and he's going to, we're going to give him the floor for...
That's good. Thank you.
There we go. Is that good for you?
Yes.
All right, sir. All right, so welcome to council chambers. As you're no stranger to the delegation process, you're provided ample time to say what you wish to council, bring your message. So with that, I will pass the floor to you, sir.
Okay, as long as everybody can understand me, right?
We're good.
Okay. I am, of course, on the side of disability. And something that you said actually got me going last time when I did the interview with Flora and CBC. You said it's coming up on that time of year now that we're doing budgets and blah, blah, blah.
Yep, absolutely.
I said to myself, well, it'd be good to go see them do that. See what they do. And know what they're going to do for the disabled people next year. I know it can't be done right away. But, like my dad said, like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Same thing. I know the town can't do everything, but my feeling is now the main object of the town council's rehabilitation is the bike shop, because that's disgusting. And I think anybody in town will tell you that. But this community has been incorporated, what, 50 years? You mean tell me nobody over that time ever thought about disability with people? I find that hard to believe. So my idea of being here is to watch what you do. And I'll report back to Flora. I was amazed. She can drive, but she can't walk. So like she says, how does she get into the park store? She doesn't. Where does she park? Way over. I mean, that's only one case. I won't get into saying of business of people. But they all have a right, or they all have an agreement to make it accessible to everybody, their stores. And I believe it was you told me that, oh well, someone in St. John's of the government will receive their application to build a store here, and they will approve it. Well, where's the people that oversee these people, these stores? Where are the people that observe how they're being built? I don't know of any. I came here in 1979. Yes, there was no back trail then. But I've yet to see anybody change anything around here or have to change something. And that, I think, is a bad thing. I'd like you to tell me what you have put into the budget to make things better. I don't hear too many people.
Oh, okay,
tell
no,
me.
I'm letting you finish your
Well,
statement now.
I'll stop.
Okay, so right now you are indeed correct. We're in the budget process. So what we've done we've had 2 sessions already, 2 evenings that we've done. We have another session tomorrow evening. The process that we followed and the process that's been followed, I guess, from the process of getting it to where you talk about what's going to be into it till it gets passed, is a bunch of consultations. So within that consultations is staff, operational things, construction things that come on the forefronts. There's some discussion, but we aren't at the stage of the capital money yet. We haven't had that full discussion. So one of the things that we've already, I guess, briefly touched on, because we're not at that final piece where we start deciding what capital money we will spend in terms of projects and that. One of the discussions is the bike trail. And the bike trail in the past was put up, as we had a chat about, was put out for tenders and received no bids. So partly a little bit because of timing and that, but there apparently will be some paving opportunities over the next probably couple of summers.
I know that.
Yep. So that is an excellent opportunity for us to do our homework, to make sure that we get it out so that there are paving contractors in town that would potentially bid on the project. Okay. So that's one thing. But like I say, to tell you right now today what we have in the budget process, we haven't finalized it yet. And we're looking at trying to get it finalized and pass the budget by the first couple of weeks in December, or mid-December.
You remember the last councils in this town, they probably all did that. Put it off till later, put it off, put it off. It only takes a couple hours, you can go through the whole works.
Well, I tell you, I'll give you an example. Last year's budget, we had 13 evening sessions of probably 3 or 4 hours to get to the budget to where it's passed. So no, it's not, some of the projects we can dust off very quickly and have discussion about, but the whole process takes several evenings of several hours.
Mr. Dodd, I'll just speak to what you just said there. There was over $700,000 approved for the trails.
You said that last time.
Yes, I did.
Yep.
And there's still over $200,000 left in the multi-year capital works for
Where
them
did
trails.
the 500,000 go?
It was reallocated to other projects or whatever. But, and I keep bringing this up, and everybody here can confirm that I keep talking about the bike trail. So hopefully, like the mayor said, in the budget process, something will be put in place this year to upgrade. You need new asphalt, you need lots of stuff up there.
That's why I'm here.
Yep.
Because if you leave something, it goes off in the wind.
Yeah.
And I've been working enough to know that. That's the best thing someone can want. Oh, it just disappears.
Yep.
Well, this is not going to disappear as long as I'm alive.
Or me
And
sitting here, I will champion it too.
As I said to you at your house, yeah, absolutely come down and absolutely keep our toes to the fire, because
that's what I'm doing.
and the reason we are where we are is that over the past multiple councils, for years and years, there hasn't been the disability lens placed on some of the projects and that kind of stuff.
Well, if I could say one thing,
Yep.
I sat on the end of that bike trail down here in the valley on the scooter and looked over at Tim's, wanted to get a coffee. How did I get there?
Yep.
I go out on the main road. That doesn't make sense. A simple sidewalk to get over there without getting out into traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. So the plan that's there needs to be, if like I say, when we get down to the capital side of stuff, there was a plan, and I'm assuming, Mr. Dilling, there's Class A estimates done for that project? Or Class A estimates for tendering? Or they were, for the bike trail revitalization?
Yes.
The two roundabouts or gateways were done, but there was because the project was taken and made into two parts. So I'm assuming that is there, so there shouldn't be a whole lot of work left in terms of dusting that off and being able to go to a contract, if that becomes the decision of council through budget.
But what about access to Edmonds Road area?
Well, that's totally part of the accessibility to the bike trail.
What about access
Yep,
down by the school to the fields?
yep,
There's a road there, yes, but if I get stuck on loose sand,
yep,
I'm
absolutely.
well, sort of sorry, but you know what?
Yeah, yeah, yep,
I am. Roads have to be solid for a disability scooter to go on.
yep.
Do you people know what disability scooters are?
I drove with you.
You drove them. They are a four-wheel. Your ability is taken care of. Your, what do you call it? Stability.
Yeah, counterbalance, yeah.
Yeah. And it's a much more advanced thing than people think. But in this town, we should be able to drive them everywhere. Why couldn't Happy Valley be the pride of the North? Is a community that is set up to do everything. Why is it forgotten about?
Yep.
And I think, yes, that's about sizing. Everybody put money in the rink, build the football fields, do this, but none on people getting around that have disabilities doing so. That's how I feel. And like I said, I may not see it, I hope I do, but the disabled people coming after me when I'm cold and in the ground, I know, burned out. At least, or less, knowing someone benefited from what I did. And I think that's admirable.
Absolutely.
And I think it can be done.
We got to start somewhere.
Well, if nobody starts, it's never done.
Absolutely. Yep.
There's no reason, Mr. Daw, that pavement can't be placed next summer, brand new asphalt, which was supposed to be done. There's
Yeah.
no reason, and I agree with you.
But
There is no reason.
I think if that's the council decision through budget, I think it's an excellent opportunity for what's on the forefront. So,
May I say,
yes, sir.
the bike path from the valley to Hamlin Heights, everybody was complaining because the people that were sleeping and drinking and everything else in the trees. First and foremost, cut the damn trees down. Everyone put up a light pole. And secondly, if you could get all the people in this town, Hamlin Heights, and using that bike path, that's the key, using it. To walk and to bike and whatever, you have a healthier town, and you get rid of one of your problems. I mean, that's not hard to see. Full stop.
Okay, sir. Rick, as always, thank you, because that's, like I say, that's the accountability side. And there's nobody on this side of the table that, live day to day with you and Flo and other individuals. And there seems to be a growing number of folks in town that are challenged with
There are.
mobility and that stuff as well.
A
So,
lot more than
yep.
you would
Oh,
realize.
no, absolutely.
And not only that, it's not only me the Inuit, dare I say non-Tula, they're all got disabled people too.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
this benefits them.
Well, thank you, sir. So what I can say to you in terms of from a budget perspective, when we consider the deliberations, I hope that we keep that in our minds when we go through them and see what what we can do.
I will keep watching.
Absolutely.
Because I want to make sure the council does something in this town.
Yep.
And remember, we got a real nice pool and gymnasium there. Where does that come from? Who pays for that?
We all do.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's there before anything was thought about disability. Why?
And you can't get there from the bike trail.
I know.
That's right. So
The bike trail was started
That's-
talking about back in 2014.
The bike trails around this town, trails, sidewalks, where there are some, are horrible.
yeah.
They're not kept up. They're not, most of them are covered over with gravel.
Yeah.
You can't do something like that and have that and expect everything to be hunky-dory. It don't work.
No, you're absolutely right.
I mean, I grew up in an airport town called Gander. We had sidewalks on the streets. They had curbs, we had get up and get down there. They had everything. They took part of my front lawn in Gander, my dad's front lawn, 4 feet, and made a sidewalk. Everybody here seems to be scared of using that 4 feet. Even last year, I seen the grader once in Hammond Heights. Once. To do a lot of work. And you know, he went down the road. He was only off the pavement by that much. That's not a shoulder. You can't get a car off on that.
Yep.
I mean, that's just how I see it. And I have a right to say how I feel here.
Absolutely. Yep. And we're glad you did.
Well, I'll say this, that's not the end of it. I'm not going to give up. So don't anybody think, oh, he showed up, he won't show up next time because he's an invalid. If I can, and that's another thing, when you have to rely all the time on rides, because the area you're going is too bad or inaccessible by scooter, that is a bad sign. It's hard to get a ride all the time. Every now and then, yeah, okay. But when you're a living person in this town and you want to get this or you want to get that or you want to go here, you should be able to do it.
Yep. Absolutely.
So I will keep up online, which I do, so whoever updates the site, make sure you do it. And,
One of those two fine folks right behind you.
okay, well, when they get the budgetary amounts put in the budget, if they put in for the sidewalks and trails and bike trail, I'd like to be able to read.
So, Mr. Dow, that's the budget's going to be passed. It has to be passed in a public session. So when we announce that, and that'll be announced, you know, as any other meeting would be announced,
Yeah?
then I would encourage you to come
Oh,
to
I
that
will.
session as well.
I will.
Yeah.
Because I just don't believe on saying something once and forgetting it. I've seen too many people willing to sit back. You forgot, too bad. So it's not going to be my fault.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Full stop.
All right.
Thank you. Mr.
All right,
Brown.
sir. Okay, let's move along with the agenda that we have. We're going to adopt the previous minutes from the 48th meeting. We've had the minutes. I'll ask for a motion to adopt the minutes from the 48th meeting on October 24th. Moved by Councillor Broomfield, seconded by Deputy Mayor Wallace. Discussion, errors, omissions? Okay, none being heard. All those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Okay, passed. Next item is our correspondence, and as usual, our correspondence is, from incoming perspective, is just the municipal assessment agency information that we have, and it relates to just information that they have, update on the just the agency itself. Okay, so we'll move into committee reports. And as we say, we have two of our chairs of the committee are out of town, so the reports will be presented by other councillors sitting around the table. So we'll start with community planning and development, and I will pass the floor to Councillor Compton Hobbs.
Thank you, Mayor. Community Planning and Development Committee met on Monday, November the 20th at 4:45 p.m. Present was myself, Chair Jackie Compton Hobbs, Councillor Bert Pomeroy, Councillor Denise Rumble, Engineer Randy Dillon, Engineer Technologist Mark Urquhart, GIS Mark McCritis, Executive Assistant Kathy Eddy. Regrets from CAO Nadine McCauley and Mayor George Andrews. Meeting called to order at 4:45 p.m. We had no presentation, no delegations. We reviewed the minutes and action items. We talked about the real property report and compliance letter, developing a policy, and there was a meeting held on November the 24th last week, so I'll have an update at the next meeting. We talked about the development regulations and some amendments, and it's going to be reviewed over Christmas by some staff. Right now there's 30, and some of them are just minor typos or whatever, so they're going to present it back to the committee in January after they review over Christmas. And hopefully we'll get some of them sorted out in the next couple of months. Under new business, there was new permit updates. The reports attached for with the information. Noted that over the past period, permits issued exceeded $378,000 in construction costs, with a total over $17 million to date. So that's impressive. We referred a couple of Crown land applications. We're still waiting to hear back from NAV Canada. We talked about Joe Way's Crown land, which is going to be coming forward in my recommendations, and Juniper Street renaming. We had a discussion around, just for information purposes, a liquor license application. At the time, Councillor Rumble felt she might have been in a conflict, so she left the room, but it was just for information purposes, so she did leave, just in case she thought she was in a conflict. There was no other business. The next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, January the 16th at 4:30 p.m. I ask you to please accept my report as presented.
Okay, it's been moved by Councillor Compton Hobbs that we accept the community planning and development report as presented, seconded by Deputy Mayor Wallace. Any discussion? Okay, none being heard. I'll ask all those in favor indicate with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Passed. You have some recommendations?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay.
The first one is Juniper Street reorganization. The Community Plan Development Committee recommends the council approve the reorganizing of streets and civic addresses in this area to the properties located in the cul-de-sac at the end of Juniper Street will retain their civic numbers but now be known as Juniper Place. The properties 25 to 27 and 23 Juniper Street will now be 03 A, B, C, D and 05 A, B, C, D, Juniper Street respectively. Going forward, Juniper Street will be the straight road from Hamilton River Road southwest towards the airport.
Okay, so it's moved by Councillor Compton Hobbs and the CPD committee that we approve the reorganizing of the streets as has been presented, and we'll create a cul-de-sac now, or create the cul-de-sac to be named Juniper Place, and the remainder of the street will be Juniper Street. Seconded by Deputy Mayor Wallace. Discussion?
Sorry.
Councillor Feathers?
Yeah, seeing that we're going through numbers now of houses and streets, it's been brought up several times about Megan Street. There's still that property.
Okay,
on
so
both
so
sides. Sorry?
that we're just dealing with the
That's-
the motion.
yeah,
So
fine.
right after that, then we can go to
Yep.
to that. Yes, Councillor Compton Hobbs.
I was just gonna add that staff did deliver letters to all the residents in that area, and there was no complaints or concerns heard back.
So in terms of any costs for homeowners, is this going to be on the proponent, or is the town paying for it, or individuals
To my
paying for it?
knowledge,
Or?
this is a cost to the town.
Okay. So if anyone does change of address, that kind of stuff. So is that what has been? That is where someone would go. If someone was listening to it tonight, they would approach the town for a change of address kind of process. So the town's paying for it. Was that what was discussed?
That's to my knowledge, unless
Okay.
Mr. Dillon got
I
some
would
rec-
think it would be minimal cost.
Oh yeah, I know. Just but if someone's listening tonight, that what to do kind of deal, right? So they can just call down and speak to someone.
They can call down and
Yeah.
speak to someone, and
Okay.
we would advise them accordingly.
All right. Okay. Good. Any other discussion? Okay. None being heard. All those in favour indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded.
Aye.
Contrary-minded. Passed. Next recommendation, please.
Okay, Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay Crown Lands application. The Community Planning Development Committee recommends that council provide no objection to Crown Lands application 161768 on the condition that future development complies with the town's development regulations.
Okay, it's moved by CPD and Councillor Compton Hobbs that we have no objection to Crown Lands application 161768. Seconded by Councillor Brumfield. Discussion? Just on this one, I thought it was a point. I thought we made it.
It's no address.
There's no nothing. Like so, right now, anyone who is listening, there's no description of similar to what we do with home-based business. We tell where the address is, what the business is going to be. So, is there? Do you have the file? Do you have or?
I know
Councillor-
that it's the Joel Way path,
Okay, so that's
but
what
I
it
mean, they
is.
should have had it included.
Yeah.
the
So just because I mean nobody knows, you know, unless you're sitting around this table, what application number 161768 is. So can you just give us a description, just because we're in our meeting here, Mr. Dill? Do you have that?
Well, I know that from the committee meeting, it's a Joe Ways path land
Yeah.
between the hospital parking lot and
Okay.
Kinsman Park
Okay.
gate.
So that's it. So we have no
We're
objection to
applying
that.
for that land.
All right. Okay. Any other discussion?
No, just that's what the land from their parking lot to
The gate,
onward.
the gate to
All that space in between from where their parking lot ends.
into the gate,
okay.
yep.
So that was a hydro.
Hydro easement.
There was an easement there, I think. Right. So what has that been resolved? They have
Yes,
no
Mayor,
objection, right?
contact has been made with Hydro, and they have no objection to that.
Okay.
Dimensions, like, the town does own a portion of that land, but I think there's a section there about 10 meters by 20 meters that we have to get title to.
All right. So this is just so we can get the title, so we can do any freehold improvements. All right.
That's correct.
Perfect. Any other discussion? Okay. All those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Okay, so we passed that recommendation as well. All right. So now as we move through the agenda, we'll go to our next committee, which is Community Services and Recreation. And who's delivering? Oh, yep. Okay, so Deputy Mayor Wallace is doing that one this afternoon.
Great, thank you, Mayor. The CSR Committee met on Tuesday, November 14th. Prior to the meeting, a delegation was scheduled with the Men's Hockey Rec League, and Blair McLean presented to the committee on their behalf. Mr. McLean discussed the Men's Rec League concerns regarding the schedule of ice times for user groups and a change that had impacted his group in particular. The committee asked questions, and the town recreation director committed to follow up with copies of relevant correspondence. Following the presentation and departure of the delegation, the meeting was called to order at 5:13 p.m. Present were Councillor Rumbold as chair, Deputy Mayor Wallace, Councillor Broomfield, CD Manager Greg Osmond, and Director of Recreation Travis Ford. Regrets from CAO Nadine Macaulay. Previous minutes were reviewed with no errors or omissions noted. Action items were also reviewed, and the Director provided updates where applicable, with most items continuing to be updated on a monthly basis. New business discussed was that a discussion was held about the dispute for the ice time allocated to the Men's Rec Hockey League and what action should be taken by CSR. The CSR director was asked to find out if there was any written commitments made to either the Broomball League or the Men's Hockey Rec League related to this issue. It was agreed that the CSR committee would decide on this matter as soon as the director reports back with copies of written commitments made to either group. To present date, there has not been anything provided to the committee. It was also agreed that all user groups must sign a suitable user agreement each year before being permitted to use the facilities. It was agreed the user agreement needed to be updated to ensure that it met the legal requirements to protect both the town and the users. User groups must be able to confirm that they have the appropriate liability insurances in place. A discussion was held on the fact that the Clyde's room in the Broomfield Arena does not have anything in place to recognize its namesake, Clyde Williams. The CSR director will be working on acquiring a sign to place the plaque in the room to honor his memory. The CSR director provided the committee with an annual schedule of events. The committee is in agreement that this is a living document which has many additions and changes throughout the year. And as such, the CSR director and CD manager work together to ensure that the events of the town are shown on the town's Facebook page regularly and consistently. Other business discussed was the Christmas winter lights decorating contest. The annual winter lights decorating contest was discussed, and it was agreed that there will be some changes to the selection criteria for 2023. It was agreed that residents would need to register their properties to enter the contest. This would be done by sending an email or calling the town to register. It was further agreed that the public would vote on the best decorated house by completing an online survey that would list all the registered properties. The prizes to be awarded would not be broken down by areas, as we've done in the past, Valley, MOT, and sections. There will be just 3 prizes, based on the largest number of online votes, regardless of which section of town they were located in. The same system would be used for the business entries, except with only one winner. Tree lighting 2023, it was agreed that the rec director would reach out to several choirs groups to be involved in the tree lighting event this year, including 5 Wing Goose Bay, the Pentecostal Tabernacle Choir, and the local schools. The Santa Claus Parade this year, the theme is Any Mummers Loud In, as suggested by the local schools contest. It was agreed that the parade will go past the long-term care facility again this year with 2 passes around the building to give everyone a chance to see it. It was agreed that the static parade will be for 1 hour from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, with the main parade at 6 o'clock. Reminders will be sent to those participating in the static parade that this is a sensory-friendly event and there'll be no lights, music, or noise at this time. With no further business, the meeting was adjourned at 6:03 p.m. and the next meeting date is still to be determined.
All right, so it's moved by Deputy Mayor Wallace and I guess for Councillor Rumbold and the CSR committee that we accept the report as is presented. Seconded by?
I'll second.
Okay, seconded by Councillor Compton Hobbs. Discussion? No discussions. All right. Just one thing. In reading when I read it, why would we decide year to year that the Santa Claus parade would have to go around or would go around long-term care? Wouldn't we just make that a norm? So we just from here going forward, that's what's going to happen?
For sure.
Okay, all right. No, it's just like when I read it, it's like the we made a decision to do that, but I know how well it was received last year by the friends and family that were there.
Couple years ago, just,
Yeah.
No, just
Well,
last year's first
last
time.
year's first year.
we did one.
Well,
Yeah.
it was presented and it was, but anyway, like I say, I think it just should be the norm. I think it should be just part of the route, so. That's just me. Any other discussion? All right, none heard. All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Did you want to sing or? Okay, contrary-minded, and we passed. And I see there's no recommendations from CSR. It's got awful loud really fast. All right, so thank you, Deputy Mayor. All right, we'll move into Finance, Admin, and Policy Committee. And as Councillor Palmer is not here, I think the floor will go to Councillor Brumfield.
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. Yes, Councillor Palmer asked me to fill the breach for him where he's out of town, so basically I'm reading his report. The Financial Administration and Policy Committee met on November the 21st. Present were the Chair, Councillor Pomeroy, myself, Councillor Broomfield, and Councillor Winters. The staff was Supervisor of Assessment and Taxation, Kelsey Selswell, Director of Financial Operations, Mike Dalmont, Executive Assistant Kathy Eddy, and Community Development Manager Greg Osmond, and regrets from the Chief Administrative Officer Nadine McCauley. There were no delegations, so we got right into the meeting. The meeting was called to order at 4:34 p.m. The agenda was approved with one item added to new business, which was drafted not for profit policy. The previous minutes and action items were reviewed and no errors or omissions were found. We discussed amending two policies. The first one is policy A0005, which is employee appreciation. And right now, this policy provides employees with a turkey for Christmas break, but we are suggesting expanding to include the words a gift certificate of equal value to that of a turkey. So that'll be added on to the policy definition. The next one is the other amendment, which is policy A0008, which is process and records complaint. Town Happy Valley Goose Bay, under the policy, committees and council will not consider complaints against individual residents or property or any actions, but will refer and consider those complaints through the process of records and complaints. Incoming complaints via telephone calls, in-persons, or email or fax shall be entered onto the town's complaint website or cell phone application, which is the Access E11 by either a resident or town employee. The complaint intake form shall be completed with required fields include address of complainant, date, time received, name of the employee taking complaint, and description of the complaint, and to the department head with which is related. The new process, Your Worship, will enable the town to more effectively deal with complaints. And we also discussed providing tax exemption policy for ground search and rescue, which are recommendations for this. What's that?
No, I think there's some
I think
feedback from the...
that's-
Um, the councillors online, we're hearing some kind of noise in the background. If you just maybe mute until we get close to voting, that would be great. Thank you.
Yes, okay, so now I'm moving on to items that we have action items for, or resolutions of the meeting. So the first one was we're discussing tax exemption for the ground search and rescue. I will also have recommendations regarding these issues for council's consideration shortly. We also spent some time discussing a draft policy with respect for not-for-profit, and staff will be asked to review the policy and to provide feedback to the committee. There being no further business, the meeting adjourned at 5:32 p.m. and the next meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, January 15th at 4:45. With that, I move the Finance Administration Policy Report be accepted and as read.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Brumfield. Moved by Councillor Brumfield and for Councillor Pomeroy and the committee, Finance Admin Policy, that we accept the report as is presented. Seconded by Councillor Winters. Discussion. Just one quick one on the staff appreciation policy. I totally support it. It's just that why would we still have two? Like, it's either a turkey or a gift certificate. From a logistics perspective, wouldn't it be just as easy to have
Yeah, it's
just?
gonna be either or, right, it's not
It's
both.
and or, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's either get a turkey or a gift.
Yes, it's
Yeah, but-
either or, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So they won't get two.
No, but what I mean is just someone's got to worry about the turkey, someone's got to worry about gift certificates. If it was just a gift certificate to the equal value of, then it would be simpler from a logistics perspective, in my opinion. But I guess management can decide how to.
Well, the
roll
staff
that out.
actually said it'd be easier if we gave them either like a certificate to pick up the turkey.
That's
or
what I
a
mean.
gift
That's what I mean. So
Right.
instead of like if half of them still want a turkey and half want a certificate, it's
Yeah.
just logistically, it's, I think if you're, the intention here is the value of. So I mean, if it's the gift certificate and someone buys a turkey, they buy a turkey, and if they buy whatever, they buy whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Any other discussion?
I just want to ask a
Councillor
question on
Hobbs?
the process and record of complaints. Can you just give a little briefing for the public on that? So they're gonna be calling in and recording, or they can go online and record their complaint?
Well, my understanding is yes, they can either go online and do it on themselves, online on the system, which is the Access E11, which is going to be available on the town website, or they can, if it's, say, a senior citizen, for example, or someone has no computer at home, they can call in and a staff member would do that online for them with the information they provide.
And then it goes to the appropriate manager?
Yes. That's how it's supposed to be working when it gets up and running,
Right.
yes.
And it's
So the
trackable.
department heads would be like notified that there was a complaint received on such and such.
Yeah, and the good thing about that is that with that access that you want, it allows somebody then to call in and say, hey, listen, what's been done? So the complaint then gets automatically sent to a manager, it doesn't sit on someone's desk, it doesn't do whatever, and then someone can call in and say, hey, listen, 2 weeks ago I called in about blah, 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 and there's nothing been done. And then it's not figuring out who it is. Someone goes online and sees what's been done, where it's been done. Maybe nothing's been done, maybe something's been done, but that information, should get back to the person who complains, makes that complaint, which is good. I think it's going to be easier for people to do that, and I think it makes us more efficient, and the follow-up is better. So, no delegations, I'm sorry. But do you have something to offer, Mr. Osmond?
Yes, there will be a press release going out.
Yes.
On December 4th.
Yeah. On 4th, okay. So I'm not sure if you can hear him, but on December 4th, that was one of our staff, on December the 4th, there will be a press release or PSA going out that deals with this. So we're just putting the behind-the-scenes stuff in place in order to allow it to happen. So thank you, sir, for that. Any other discussion? Okay, none being heard. All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded?
Aye.
Nope. Sorry. Contrary-minded? Okay, motion's passed. You have some recommendations, sir.
Yes, I do, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, the first recommendation, this is,
Could I ask, though, in your recommendations, that the item E be put to the end? Because both the deputy and I are in conflict. So we'll do that one at the end. I'll pass the chair to Councillor Winters.
And Councillor
You will be too as well?
Yes.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we still have quorum. Okay, that's good. We'll pass the chair to Councillor Compton Hobbs. All right, so we'll just move E, and
yeah,
it's a donation request for Mealy Mountain Safe Grad. So we'll deal with that in a few moments. All right, so first
okay.
item.
First one is amending policy A0005, which is employee appreciation. The FA committee recommends council approve an amendment to policy A0005 to include, in quotes, gift certificate of equivalent value, end of quote, to item number 1 of the policy.
Okay, it's moved by Councillor Broomfield and the FAP committee that we recommend an amendment, to policy A005. Seconded by?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Councillor Compton Hobbs. Discussion. Just as a point of order in this, though, what's in your motion is not reflected in the policy that we have presented in our package. So it's a gift certificate of equivalent value is not there, it just as a gift certificate. So maybe we could get the policy that's put in our package changed, if that's the motion we're going to do, or change your motion to reflect what's in the policy. Choice is yours. What would you like to do?
The change mostly reflects what's in
Okay.
the policy.
So then the motion will only read gift certificate.
Certificate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Further discussion?
So I guess that's really a friendly amendment, is it?
Yeah, it would be, if you accept it.
Yeah.
All right, so that just changes, just basically syntax on our side, so. All right, it's moved. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor with the change to A0005 indicate with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Passed. Next one, please.
Okay, the second one deals with policy A0008, which is process and records of complaints. The FAP committee recommends council approve the amendments to policy A00008 as presented in council package. Now, this is a 7-page document in the council package too, right?
Yeah. Yep, okay. I'm just not sure. Oh, okay, anyway, we'll accept the motion. Seconded by? Councillor Winters. Discussion. All right, so did you want to just allude to that it is a 7-page
Yeah.
document?
Yes, this is actually a 7-page document which was reviewed, well prepared and researched by the staff, and it came to our committee their last meeting, and basically it took a while to get to this part, and at least putting something in writing for people to have a new procedure or process that's in place to receive and deal with complaints.
Any other discussion? So just down again, December 4th, there should be a PSA go out to the public about the new process. All right, any other discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Passed. Next one, please, sir.
Okay, thank you again. The next one is for property exemption from the Happy Valley Gooseberry Ground Search and Rescue Team. The FAP committee recommends council approve a property tax exemption for the tax year 2023 for part ID 204140 in the amount of $248.81.
Okay, it's moved by Councillor Brumfield and FAP that we recommend, we approve a property tax exemption, for the tax year 2023 for power ID 204140 in the amount of $248.81. Seconded by Councillor Winters. Discussion? Deputy Mayor Wallace.
Where's power ID 204140?
What's that?
Where's the address, or where's power ID 204140?
Not, they have a small piece
I
of
assume
property.
it's-
Isn't it up on the Canadian side?
I think so, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that the Canadian side? Can we just verify that? I thought it was in a different location.
Or is that
Pardon me? I thought it was Charrington Basin.
Charrington Basin? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm maybe thinking of Grand River.
Yeah, someone
Yeah.
go cover
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right, it is.
So it's an exemption for Charrington Basin.
Yeah.
Boat Club. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded?
Aye.
Oh, sorry.
Aye.
Sorry, folks. Contrary-minded? Passed. Next one, sir.
Okay, the next one is a donation request from the Salvation Army Christmas Kettle Drive. The FAP committee recommends council approve a monetary donation of $2,500 to the Salvation Army for their annual Christmas Kettle campaign.
Okay, it's moved by Councillor Brumfield and the FAP that we approve monetary donation of $2,500 to the Salvation Army Christmas Kettle campaign. Seconded by?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Councillor Compton Hobbs. Discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Passed. Can you just make sure that, I think in the past they've come over or we've gone up or something like that, so we can arrange that with Major Barn? And just to make sure all the council knows. Next one we're going to skip to the bottom, so we'll go to F, please, Councillor Brumfield.
Okay, the next one is a donation request from the Happy Valley Gooseberry Public Library. The FAP committee recommends council approve a monetary donation of $5,000 to the Happy Valley Gooseway Public Library for the tax year 2024, and that council considers this a grant budget item for the tax year 2024 and onward.
All right, it's moved by the FAP committee and Councillor Brumfield that we make a donation of $5,000 to the Happy Valley Goose Bay Public Library for this upcoming year, and that it be changed to a grant from 2024 onward. Okay. Seconded by Councillor Winters. Discussion. Did you have your hand? No? Okay. No further discussion? Okay. All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded?
Aye.
Passed. Letter G, please.
Okay, next one is a donation request from Snow Goose Mountain. The FAP committee recommends council approve a monetary donation of $1,500 to Snow Goose Mountain to assist with the reopening of the mountain.
All right, it's moved by Councillor Brumfield and FAP that we approve a $1,500 donation, monetary donation to Snow Goose Mountain to assist with reopening. Seconded by Deputy Mayor Wallace. Discussion. Did somebody just want to?
When they met with the delegation, did they have a time frame? Like, are they hoping to have it open this year, or?
See, I wasn't here when they met with anyone here.
Yeah, would someone just give a there's a little brief update just from everybody perspective?
Darren Densmore presented here last council meeting, and he had requested an amount of $10,000. He was requesting to town on that day, but that's what the amount of money he required for it to open. He's looking at opening the ski hill this year, and all the remaining is $10,000. So we're looking at contributing $1,500 tonight, and I'm assuming he's looking elsewhere for other contributions.
And I think it would be a positive step. It was always something that was looked at good, and who knows, we may be able to revitalize it to where it used to be or close to it. So we have to start somewhere. So I guess that's why it's on the floor. Further discussion?
I just noticed in the
Councillor
package
Hampton
that there was some work done down there already, repairs, so
Yeah.
seems like he's well on the way.
Yeah,
It's good
some
for
of
the community.
some of the stuff that he mentioned is the lift. Some of the electrical and some of the lift stuff has been done.
Yeah, for just knowledge, for the last 6 years, he's been cutting the brush, the trees, the trails, everything's up and ready to go. It was just getting the legalities or the liabilities for the J-bar to have that going, so it looks like this might be the year to
I
do
think
so.
it'll go over very well.
Now we just need the weather to change. Sorry, Councillor Winters.
Just a further, Councillor.
For the beginner's slope,
We're just going to
really.
start with the beginner hill
Yeah.
and fix the J lift, and that's basically what it is. And then
Yeah.
hopefully, the more people down there, the more
Yeah.
it grows.
And I think that's the intent, is to start very small and then go. All right, so any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Passed. All right, so the next item, I'm going to declare conflict. My daughter is graduating this year, and there's a request from the Mealy Mountain Safe Grade Committee for the council to contribute. So I'm going to pass the chair over to Councillor Compton Hobbs. I would normally pass it to the deputy, but I will pass the floor to the deputy right now.
I'm going to declare conflict as well, as my daughter is graduating this year as well.
I will be declaring conflict as well as my son is graduating year.
And can the record show, and we'll just vacate.
My opinion, why would you have to declare a conflict? Because, it's not going to just your children's going to the whole graduating group. It's like same as in the neighborhood principle, right?
Yeah. But
if you're living in the neighborhood and everyone benefits the neighborhood, it's not a conflict.
No, but in my particular case here, it's a...
I'm chair of the Safe Grad of which is asking for the money.
And the other side is that, there has to be a perception that the decision will be made, did I make the decision because my daughter's graduating or what? So it's not necessarily a financial thing now with the new conflict of interest. It's whether you can make a decision based on based on it being a fair and unfair process, fair or unfair process. So I'm just going to declare conflict as a simple vote. We still have a quorum with 2 councillors by phone and 2 councillors here. So the chair I'll pass to Councillor Compton Hobbs, and we're just going to vacate to the gallery.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you, Mayor. Just give him a second to leave the gallery.
Uh-huh.
We'll just give him a second to go to the back of the gallery. Okay, Councillor Broomfield?
Okay, thank you, Your Worship. Okay, this one here is a donation request from the Mealy Mountain Safe Grad Committee. The FAP Committee recommends Council approve a monetary donation of $500 to the Mealy Mountain Safe Grad Committee for the event on June the 15th, 2024.
Okay, so the motion on the floor is that Finance approve a $500 donation for the Safe Grad Committee. Do we have a seconder?
I'll second. Councillor Rumble.
Second by Councillor Rumble. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
After mine, carried. You can return to the gallery, to the chamber.
Thank you kindly. All right, and the reason with the new, I guess, conflict of interest guidelines and municipality guidelines, we used to have to vacate, if the meeting is not public, we have to vacate the room. But a public meeting, thank you, sir. A public meeting, you just have to vacate to the gallery, and it's then because you just are a regular citizen. So that's why we did what we did. All right, and that's it for you, right, sir?
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, so our last committee is Municipal and Protective Services, and I will pass the floor to the Deputy Mayor.
Thank you very much, Mayor. The Municipal and Protective Services Committee held its monthly meeting on Wednesday, November 15th at 4:30 p.m. Present was Chair, myself, Deputy Mayor Ella Wallace, Councillor Jackie Compton Hobbs, Councillor Todd Winters, CAO Nadine McCauley, Director of Engineering Randy Dillon, Director of Protective Services Brad Butler, Superintendent of Public Works Randy Chambers, Superintendent of Water and Sewer Keith Pye, and CD Manager Greg Osmond. The Municipal and Protective Services Committee met with a delegation prior to the start of the meeting. Mike Andrews of LED Roadway Lighting from Halifax attended the meeting virtually and discussed the various products that they provide to go mounted on light poles. These products included a variety of sensors that included video cameras, noise sensors, speed sensors, air quality, and sound sensors. Mike explained how many municipalities were using these sensors to their benefit. Mike provided CAO McCauley with costing and presentation to share with the committee. Meeting was then called to order at 5:08 p.m. Agenda approved and review of minutes and revealed no errors or omissions. The committee reviewed new business as follows. Gazetted regulations, it was suggested that a meeting be requested with Minister Lovelace to move along the Gazette process with the town's traffic regulations. Community safety plan, following up on the presentation by Bonnie Jackson, the consensus of the committee was that the council was not receptive to initiating a community safety plan at this time. Vehicle signage was stated that there were several pieces of snow equipment that are working without town signage, and a signage since being ordered for the town equipment. YMCA parking lot, an update provided by Randy Dillon that work happening at the YMCA was a modification to the curb and sidewalks for accessibility. Snow clearing for the YMCA, including an awarding of a contract, will follow in the recommendation. Dozer purchase for the town landfill is required. It was agreed a necessity. The CAO noted a savings that could be used to cover a considerable amount to make the purchase. However, the dozer is not available for purchase until March 2024. Fire rescue vehicle. Butler presented a briefing note concerning the purchase of a fire rescue vehicle budgeted for in 2023. The vehicle has since been located and would meet the town's requirements as well as save a substantial amount of money. The committee agreed that this made sense. Action items including requesting regularly scheduled monthly meetings with the RCMP to provide updates to the committee. These regular meetings have yet to be scheduled. Further security measures will be discussed during upcoming budget meetings, including Garda. Other business for discussion included a groundwater study to take place with the CBCL, presenting to concerned residents as well as council present. This meeting is scheduled for December 4th at 4:45 p.m. A most recent list of complaints list registered by the town was reviewed by the committee. The CAO explained the new Access E11 complaint handling software will be ready to go live in a couple of weeks, and it will greatly improve the process for making and tracking status of complaints for the public. Plans are well underway for a rollout commencing December 4th with a media blitz. Public Works Manager's Report was reviewed and available for review in the council package. Crews currently performing regular seasonal duties. Depot and heavy equipment maintenance is ongoing. Landfill tipping fees generated to date is $146,109. All snow markings have been completed for the winter season throughout the town, and a new catch basin has been installed across from Multi-Foods on Aspen Road. Water and Sewer Manager's Report was reviewed and also available for review in the council package. All lift stations are operating, wells 1 to 7 are operating, and maintenance and repairs are ongoing. General maintenance and normal operations reported for the wastewater treatment plant, and D19 reservoir replacement valves being ordered and upgrade to existing. Pump 1 is operating and Pump 2 maintenance complete on D42 reservoir. Mechanical upgrades are planned for 2023, and there'll be numerous service calls for curb raise, lower, off and on, locate, repair and replace. Continuing maintenance to all town buildings is extensive and including but not limited to the following: fire hall upgrades, station pump and panel servicing, water repair, water flushing, sewer cleaning, markers for hydrants and manholes, and repairs to cell in Lagoon 2. The engineering report was reviewed and available for view in the council package as well. Approval is being received for upgrading for 3 sewage lift stations. A meeting is being held with the engineer and consultant, and design has started. The hydrological and surface drainage study, a request for proposals has been submitted from the Department of Transportation for approval to advertise. The contract's been awarded to CBCL. All wells and sensors have been installed and data is being collected. Preliminary report is being submitted and forwarded to council. Draft report in the process of being finalized. Snow guard installation, the tender documents have been submitted for review and tender call to be authorized soon. Municipal building upgrades, the HVAC system design has been completed. An updated tender package is being prepared. A tender package has been prepared for heating controls, upgrades at the arena, which is desperately needed and is in need of as the process of being tendered. The municipal enforcement report was reviewed and available for view in the council package. Municipal enforcement team responded to 143 instances this month, and the breakdown of calls is available in the package for viewing. Protective Services report was reviewed and available for view in the council package. Municipal enforcement team responded to a total of 16 emergency calls for assistance. These included residential and structure fire, alarm activation, brush fire, vehicle fire, and ambulance assist. All fire apparatus are fully serviceable. 8 new sets of bunker gear to be delivered this month or next month, December 2023. A new thermal imaging camera is on order and grants funds received from the IGA. And the new fire department training ground has been completed and the official opening has taken place, and it has been used multiple times since. Our CMP report was reviewed, revealing a total of the detachment responded to 638 occurrences with a total of 128 incarcerations for the month of October. The next meeting is scheduled for January 10th, 2024 at 4:45 p.m. There being no further business, the meeting was adjourned at 6:22. We have one recommendation to follow.
Yep. All right, so it's moved by Deputy Mayor Wallace that we accept the Municipal Services and Protective Services, the Municipal and Protective Services Committee report as is presented. Seconded by Councillor Broomfield. Discussion?
Just a couple things, Mayor. The community safety plan, I think there was discussion with council when I was out of town, because I asked in that meeting, and were we gonna look at doing something with the community safety plan, and it was advised that there wasn't an appetite, I guess, to get engaged. So that discussion must have happened when I was out of town, because, I do support a community safety plan. But I understand you already had a discussion, so, that, and I just wanted to mention too that, the number of RCMP calls were 628, and I believe that number was up.
It was.
Yes, yeah.
603 last month for the month of October, September, I would imagine, because we're
Yeah.
behind a month. Yeah.
Okay. And the other thing is, we had a brief discussion on the animal control and sending her out for some training. And I believe that,
Was that in the meeting?
yeah, we discussed that.
Did you
in the
mention it?
meeting.
No, I didn't mention.
Okay, I didn't hear it in the report, so I asked.
No, yeah, we did discuss it, and I was just gonna say that, Chief Butler's working on securing that
Yeah.
training.
Okay, so we're just with the report right now?
Yeah.
And that will be a regular operational item, anyway. Any other discussion on the report? Okay, none being heard. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? All right, passed. You do have one recommendation?
I do,
Okay.
thank you. The Municipal Services Committee recommends that a contract for snow clearing of the Central Labrador YMCA parking lot for a period of 2 years be awarded to JJ's Trucking in the amount of $88,938.70.
Okay, it's moved by Deputy Mayor Wallace and the MPSC committee that we award a snow clearing contract for the YMCA to JJ's Trucking in the amount of $88,938.70. Seconded by Councillor Winters. Discussion. Floor is yours, sir.
Right now, like, the Y is really starting to cost us some money. I don't know why we shouldn't be doing this our own selves with our own staff. This council is, or not this council, but since we've been here, we're more concerned about paying employees overtime to getting services. We're cutting back on services, like cutting back on Mondays at the dump, for example, that kind of stuff. I think we do have to look at this and say, we really should be doing this kind of stuff ourselves. We're saving, like I said, almost $100,000. That's not
Okay.
small change, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
If I may.
Yep.
Councillor Broomfield, on the page of the recommendation, I'm not sure if you have this one, it's the briefing note there. It just breaks down why we've decided to go with the route we did at $88,938. If we were to do it ourselves, the town, with 4 laborers, it comes to $106,214. So I think it's just, we're saving actually doing this.
What do you mean, we're talking about snow clearing, we're not gonna use the laborers for snow clearing, we're gonna use our equipment operators with their heavy equipment.
You're right, we have 4 laborers at the amount
We're
there.
not gonna use the laborers.
And you
over
have
there.
an HEO rate, and you have others that are all broken down here, 1 at 1.5.
So I'm just going to put the floor to Mr. Dillon just for a second.
Mayor, can
just-
I
yeah.
maybe they should.
Yeah, if we could just ask the councillors online again, we've unmuted, so we're hearing the activity that's around you. If we could just ask you to mute, that would be wonderful. Thank you. Mr. Dillon, in terms of, from a recommendation perspective, just to clean the parking lots at $88,938, do you know what last year's figure was? Would you have any idea?
Last year's would have been roughly around 68 or 60 something like, oh no, that would be for 2 years. So this year there was an increase because of, well, the low tender was 88,000. Actually, we only had 1 tender.
Yeah.
And I know that the contractor did complain that, you know, his fuel costs and so on went up, and, you know, he had to accommodate for
Sure.
that. So.
Okay.
I just also like to clarify, Mayor, that that 106,000 is only for 1 year. So double that for 2 years. And the laborers are needed because the HEOs don't do labor work. So we're also required to clear within 5 feet of the entrance. We're also required to clear sidewalks and the sidewalk over to the hospital and so on. So that's not done by HEOs, it's done by laborers. And we have to call in. The Y opens at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then we're open up till, 9 o'clock at night or something.
Okay.
So there are a number of call-ins, and if there's only a call-in for half an hour, they do get overtime.
If I could just stop you for a second. One of the councillors that's online, could I ask you to mute your phone because it's really, really distracting the activity that's around you? So if both of you could mute the phones, that would be great. Okay, that's better. So yeah, okay, so I see what you were saying. So, in consideration at 6 o'clock in the morning, if we got to call somebody out at 5 a.m., You know, I mean, that person then is expected to work overtime, yes, but then also to do the regular work. I'm not sure. So from this perspective, do you support this figure in terms of, this is just for 1 year too, right?
That's only for 1 year, so actually it's double the cost to do it with their own forces because of the extra overtime incurred each time that you get called in outside work. And the thing is, most of the work that will be done will be at the opening and at the, you know, in the evenings and so on, so it will be call-out rates for, you know, 3 hours, a time and a half, so it's 4.5 hours.
Councillor,
Okay, I want to ask you a question here on your sheet here, because you got 4 laborers, you got 1 heavy equipment operator, was what you based it on. But let me look at this. For argument's sake, the laborers, you got 4 for 6 months, you got 3,840 hours. They're not coming over there for 3,840 hours. For the heavy equipment operator for 6 months, you got them over there for 480 hours. There is no way in God's creation they're going to be over there that long.
Divided by 4.
Well, it's all at overtime rates.
yeah.
So if they're there for half an hour, if they're there for half an hour to get called in, they have a 3 hour.
If it takes for the whole year to clear the parking lot of the Y, if it would take any operator, that's for argument's sake, say a full day's work for the full year, that's the most.
Yeah, but it's not just so this tender though is only for the parking lot.
It's for the parking lot and for the daycare center and for the sidewalks and for the sanding and ice control in the parking lot.
But
and besides the snow clearing.
Yeah, the motion that's here says parking lot.
Yes.
Well, it's for all ice control and snow control associated with the parking lot.
Okay, so it's not just the parking
It's
lot.
not just the parking.
So it's to take
includes
care of the snow at the Y.
Yeah,
And the trail to the path to the hospital and all that.
that's
Okay,
correct, Mayor.
all right.
I was gonna say, Mayor, that you
Councillor
should
Councillor
clarify, because, you mean right around the building, the different entrances and the different programs like daycare and front and.
Yes,
The
and
same
even
thing.
within the daycare area, there's supposed to be snow
So
blowdowns.
do we have laborers that work 7 days a week? Or do
No.
we, okay.
No, they're only 5
So on
days.
those days that they don't work, if we can't get somebody,
There
the
would be,
snow builds up.
yeah, some days would be
Yeah.
double time, and actually we're obligated to keep those entrances.
That's what I mean. So I mean, in terms of this, puts that to a position with JJ's that they can take care of that. They're responsible for that.
Well, it's easier for a private contractor to allocate their staff because they have other areas that they can do. But with us, we're bound by a union contract that as soon as you call someone in for 15 hours work, we have to pay them at the overtime rate or double, whatever it is, time and a half for double time for that 3 hours or 4.5 hours, whatever it may be.
Okay. Any further discussion? You good? Very good. All right. So it's before you. All those in favor? Oh, someone else have something? Did someone want to say something on the phone? Okay, my mistake. All those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary minded?
Contrary.
Okay, motion is passed. All right, so that brings to the end of the committees and recommendations. We'll move in now. I assume you'll do approval of checks too?
Yes.
Okay. I'll ask Councillor, we'll move into the approval of checks. Excuse me, I'll ask Councillor Brumfield if he would take care of that, please.
Okay, thank you, Your Worship. Okay, the Finance, Policy and Administration Committee recommends that Council approve checks for the month of November totaling $1,506,362.49.
Okay, it's moved by Councillor Brumfield and Finance and Admin Committee that we approve checks the amount of $1,506,362.49. Discussion?
I got one question. Pollitt strategy, are we gonna be using them continuing on, like every month?
As far as I know.
So
That would be a better question to ask the CEO.
they're $34.50 every month, and it's
Retainer.
ongoing?
Ongoing,
Or whatever?
every month.
So this is gonna continue on, and we don't?
I don't know. That's a question you best ask
I'll
CEO,
assume
because
that they-
she's utilizing the services through that committee, or that company.
And we don't know, like, yeah, we don't know a time frame or,
I don't know. I
So
think
we're
it's
using
ongoing.
people stuff and pallets, but they're two different things, right?
Two
Yeah.
separates, yeah.
Yeah.
Councillor Brumfield?
Yeah, well, I'd like to pick up on what Councillor Hobbs just said there. Basically, you know, we have our own staff, and like I'm going to speak from my experience here when I was the town clerk. The whole idea behind like management, your staff here is for these people to do these kinds of things, to fill out forms that if we got to hire an outside consultant to do something that our CEO or town clerk should be doing, then we probably may have the wrong person in the job if you don't have the qualifications for the job, for something like that.
Yep.
Mayor?
Yep, Deputy Mayor?
I believe, if you noticed people stuff, that was for, it's not that we don't have people for the job. The person for the job is no longer with us that would
No,
be doing it.
I'm talking about the Craig Paula one.
That's a retainer monthly,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yep.
That's HR.
No, Craig Paul's not in HR.
Doing stuff with.
Pilot strategy, and I find it odd that nobody knows anything, and you said that the CAO is.
Well, everybody, this comes up every meeting. No one's directed the questions to her in terms of what the actual, I thought she was directed last month or in another meeting to give us what was, what that company was doing files with.
Yeah.
And I know there is one particular file, and it deals with the issue that's before us now in terms of the meetings with Newfoundland Labrador Housing that are coming up, that kind of stuff. So that's some of the stuff, and what the other stuff is, the CAO. But I mean, we can ask that, send that message through to find out exactly what those files are. But I thought we did that last meeting.
I just wonder if we're wasting $34.50 a month.
And I don't think we're wasting money.
That's a lot of money, right? Like it's going on every month.
But like I say, the best question is to ask CAO when she's back tonight, tomorrow. We can find out exactly what it is and what that expense is. In terms of using the people stuff, I think, like I say, from that perspective, I think the retainer is $2,800 or $2,200 per month. That company right now is over and above. They're doing helping with the negotiations that are happening, but also they're helping and assisting with some HR issues. We won't get any HR person to work for $22,000.
I gotta use bathroom.
Oh, you go right ahead, sir.
All those in favor say aye. And those not in favor, too bad.
You're excused, sir, but you don't have to ask. Yeah. So best direct those questions too, because it comes up every single meeting, and we need to get that answered for those folks. So if we could make a note of that in the minutes of some form or fashion. All right. Any other discussion? Just for me, in terms of the cost with the YMCA, there's two substantial checks here that are written. One is for $77,000. The other's for $163,000. It represents, I think, 3 months of the deficit, I guess, in operating. So I mean, you're talking, it's still costing us a lot of money as a community, over and above. So it's still costing us about, $80,000 a month on average, kind of deal. Which, like I say, we have to look and see if there's some strategies that we can put forward to get that, in line a little bit better.
Yeah, because it's certainly well used over there and well received in the community.
Yeah.
I believe there's 1,100.
No, the number's dropping.
The
So
numbers are dropping.
yeah.
because of the
Below
weather,
1,000.
probably.
it's below 1,000
Below
now.
1,000.
So,
Yeah,
but now, like I
Still
say,
well used.
oh yes, no, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's a big price tag. So I mean, if there's stuff we could do as a council or to promote or help, we've had that conversations with Mr. Brown and the Y, and when we
There's
went to
monthly
breakfast with him.
meetings with
Yep.
the chair of finance
There
and
is.
the chair of CSR that meet with the YMCA.
So hopefully, like I say, we've been in there for 2 years, and this number's not declining. Actually, it's increasing, if anything, a little bit. So, if there's just stuff we can you do there, and through the budget process, it's a big tag that we need to take a look at to see what we can do. All right. Any other discussion on the checks? You good? You good?
Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye. Pardon me?
Aye.
Okay, sorry, I was just advised I didn't have a seconder. So
I'll
it's,
second that.
okay, Councillor Compton Hobbs will have a seconder. And that was just a practice vote. So now I'll call for the real vote. All those in favour of accepting the cheques as presented indicate
Aye.
with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Aye.
Are counter-minded? We've accepted the cheques. All right, let's go to councillors' forum. I know it's a bit difficult for you folks on the phone, but I'll start with you if you guys wanted to, have anything to say. I'll go with Councillor Rumbold.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to refrain this week. There's a little bit of a quality issue, and I don't want to get any feedback, but I appreciate the opportunity to call in. This is my first remote meeting, and it's definitely an experience. So I appreciate that, and I hope everybody has a good evening.
All right, thank you. Councillor Pomeroy.
Yes, thanks, Mayor. No, I don't have much to say. I'm at the airport in Montreal, so it's a little bit difficult to hear. I'm not sure if you hear all the background noise, but I'll pass for this one. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, let's start with Councillor Brumfield.
Okay, thank you, Your Worship. I'm just going to keep this one simple and short today because we're getting close to supper and that. Just to remind everyone, we've got a hockey tournament coming up this week, the Steve Ramey one, correct? Just get everyone out there on the go. Next couple of weeks, Christmas season coming on, we got the Christmas lights coming up, we got the Christmas parade coming up. Wish everyone here a happy Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and everyone out on town, and refrain from drinking and driving and all that stuff during this time of the year, which usually does happen a fair amount more so than any time of the year.
Don't worry.
What?
Don't worry.
Yeah. And that, just wishing everyone, like I said, our fellow council, all the staff, a good day and good luck with everything.
So we do have another meeting before Christmas, though.
Yes.
That's why I was just checking to make sure.
That's
No.
only going to
Yeah.
be a short one.
Yes, a
yeah.
short one, yeah. All right, thank you, sir. Scoot across the table, Councillor Compton Hobbs.
Thank you, Mayor. I just looking forward to the tree lighting, and Santa Parade is always well received in the community. Brings out thousands of people, and it's nice to see all the smiles on the kids' faces. Being involved with that parade, long term, of course, seniors love it over there when the parade goes around. So looking forward to being involved with some of that stuff. I want to send condolences to my good friend Janet Warren, who passed away. I did attend her funeral, and condolences to the family and the three girls, Heather, Kayla, and Jill. She'll certainly be missed at all the sporting events, the arena and the ball fields. So condolences to the family. The budget is a crazy time of year for the council. Lots of meetings coming up. I'll be happy when the budget is done. I want to talk about the bike trail, and I will talk about it every meeting if I got to, because I was a big advocate of the bike trail in the previous council.
Yep.
And I am with Mr. Don, not because he's sitting there, and I talk about it all the time. I will continue to advocate. And I know there's $270,000 left in multi-year capital works that was supposed to be part of the trail money. I don't believe that we have to wait to apply for funding through ACOA to get these trails upgraded. All the work was done, the tender was put out. I would have put the tender out until someone finally bid on it, over and over and over. And I'm going to be a champion of this, of these trails, and we need to improve. Everybody here knows that they need to be upgraded. They're disgusting is what they are. They're deplorable, and they're unsafe. So I'll keep on. I'll bring it up in the budget meetings, and I'll keep bringing it up every meeting until it's dealt with. And that's all I got to say.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Winters.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep it short as well. Thank you, Mayor. With the holiday season coming up, I've noticed the increase in traffic, and it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. So all I'm just saying is just say be patient and drive safe, especially when we have our storms, because there's going to be an increase in traffic, especially with a lot of kids coming back from university and people getting out doing their last Christmas shopping. So just basically drive safe.
Thank you, sir. Deputy Mayor.
Hey, thank you. Hats off to Killup QB and Parietti on a successful men's hockey tournament this past weekend. at the arena. It was a massive thank you, a massive thank you to Saga as well for the support in local sports, as this wouldn't happen without our local business supporting like they did. Skidoers, take caution and ride with safety. The trails haven't been groomed yet, so just take it easy. I know obviously we're excited the snow's down, but just ride with care. Steve Ramey tournaments this weekend, as Councillor Broomfield mentioned, so come on out to the E.J. Broomfield Arena to support and cheer for your favorite local teams. Register for the Christmas lights competition when that opportunity comes up, as we have a new way of doing it this year, and I think it'll be well received. So keep an eye out for the opportunity to register, and definitely get your address out there for everyone in town to enjoy the lights. The RCMP Wish Tree will be starting soon. I think that's on the 5th at their location. And then following that, we have the tree lighting on Thursday, December 7th here at the Town Hall, with some caroling as well. The Santa Claus Parade on the 9th, as Councillor Compton-Hobbs mentioned, is well received, an exciting time for everyone to come on out and see the lights and the floats. And this year, there are more folks than ever, countrywide really, visiting our food banks across Canada. So give what you can, have a think, obviously, for our neighbours and those around us, and support what you can to support our local food bank.
Okay, thank you, Deputy Mayor Ross. Yep, just a couple of items for myself as well. Just to inform you that our council meeting for December, because I think it would fall either on Christmas or Boxing Day in that area, we've moved the meeting to December 12th. You had mentioned Main Street. Megan.
Oh, Megan.
Did you want to pass it back to you to bring that up forward?
Yeah, I was just going to pass it on, actually, a note to Councillor Compton-Hobbs to put on our agenda for the next meeting.
Yeah, and can we up that one? We've talked about this enough. Can we just direct staff to get this done? Like, it's crazy up there. The street numbers don't match up to anything. We went ahead and sent letters out to folks on Juniper that this was going to happen. Can we just fix the issue? Forget bringing and talk about it anymore. The numbers are wrong. It's a simple fix to fix the numbers.
Yeah, like
Let's
basically
just
what I seen in
fix the
Juniper
numbers.
is you've got the building number 10 with
Yep.
A, B, C, D. The apartment building on Megan is numbered, as in each apartment is 9, 10, 11.
Right, so
Yeah,
if
like
it's,
come to a
whatever the building,
So
no, it shouldn't be, we've already talked about that a dozen
no,
times.
we just did a motion on changing the
Oh, yeah,
numbers.
no, but we're changing, we're not changing the numbers.
We're going A, B, C,
No,
D.
no, but you're changing a street. You're changing it from place, right? Up there, its building address is, say, 10.
Yeah.
And what somebody did was, instead of going 10 A, B, C, D, E, F, G with the numbers, they've made them 10, 11, and that
Talking
happened.
about the apartment building.
Yeah, that big apartment building, right? So that shouldn't take a, that should be our
Does that
MEOs.
require a motion, Mr. Dillon?
No, because it's there, right? It should be, it's one address. So, and I mean, I think the MEOs should be able to handle that, right? And just get it done before somebody, makes a call to the fire department that they live on 12, wherever, and the ambulance or fire or first responder shows up to what isn't 12, according to Google or whatever they're using, and we delay time and stuff like that. So that should be an easy fix. So,
If they can't, we will include it.
oh, yes, no.
Community planning.
Yeah, no question. Budget items, yep, so we're into budget now, hot and heavy. We're hoping to have it passed as quickly as we can do due diligence to the meetings and that. We've had a couple of sessions and we end up with another session tomorrow evening. So just a quick update on the bus. We're anxiously awaiting our federal friends to come to the table. We have the provinces come to the table, some corporate sponsorships come to the table, the town is at the table, and we're just waiting for our federal partners under the Rural Transit Solution program that was announced on January the 23rd of $250 million over 5 years. So we're very much hoping that our plan can receive approval and we can finally bring that to light for the town. The early meeting in December and that's December the 12th. So with that, that's it from me. Anything from staff before I proceed to close? No?
No, thanks.
Really can't let you, but seeing who you are, sir. Yes, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you to the council for their work, because I think they do a good job. I just have one issue, that's all.
Okay. We
Okay?
appreciate that. All right. Okay. Anything else before I proceed to close? All right. Motion to adjourn is being made by.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay. Councillor Compton-Hobbs And I know Councillor Rumbold's on the phone listening, so I can't see her tonight, so I will give her the opportunity to second that.
Seconded.
All right. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Motion, meeting's adjourned.
Aye.